welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 150 is brought to you by Calcomputer, Riley G, and Cookie, some of our newest Patreon patrons. This week, Nina, Sergio, and I are going to be talking about all the latest Animal Crossing news. This will include the fall update, the return of amiibo cards, and some extra news that wasn't mentioned in the update trailer. So to begin, hello Sergio, how are you doing?
Hi Chuy, I'm doing pretty awesome. It's been a good time to be an Animal Crossing fan.
Yeah, definitely good. And then hi Nina, how are you doing?
I'm doing super amazing.
Awesome. As you can all probably hear, we're pretty excited about this update. And before we get too far into it, I do want to mention this is episode 150. That's completely insane. We've been doing this show for 3 years now, at least. This is only my 149th episode. I think, Sergio, you came through with like episode 99 doing it all by yourself one time. So none of us have actually done 150 episodes, but as a collective together, we've made this happen.
I need to take a step back and let you guys get the spotlight for this. It's unbelievable, especially as a long-term listener myself. You guys got us through some hard times.
They were hard even doing the show sometimes, I gotta say. No, but it's been really fun. I mean, lately I feel we've been doing some awesome things, talking about some really cool stuff, and I know people always ask, like, what do you do when you run out of things? And I'm like, are you kidding? We're not gonna run out now. There's a game out. You should have seen us before the game came out. Now, that was a struggle right there. I think I was looking, and it was like 120 something episodes we did without this game being out. It's insane. Yeah.
You guys are like little steam engines that could. It's unbelievable. And I have seen I think it was Quantrell was like, if you guys want to, you can still talk about Pocket Camp.
You know what? Okay, I will say I haven't downloaded the latest update. I've never uninstalled Pocket Camp from my phone. It's always been there. And I do plan on checking out this update. It seemed like the pretty significant one where people can gift each other items or something.
Yes.
I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm down to look at it. That might happen, Quantrell.
Maybe in the next few weeks.
Yeah, well, I am also, like, very aware of, like, when we were doing this show, like, the big time of year was, like, November, kind of around Thanksgiving, because that's, like, the year mark for Pocket Camp. So every year, we've seen, like, a pretty significant update to the game, too. So I imagine they'll still keep that going. I mean, the game's doing great. I'm sure it makes, like, mobile games, as much as people don't like them for, a lot of their, the practices of just microtransactions and being a little bit scummy that way, where they keep getting money. It's going to keep going because they keep making money. Like, I'm sure Pocket Camp still makes more than New Horizons does, but luckily...
I know they're still making money off of me because I forgot to unsubscribe to that, like, Happy Camper thing.
Oh my gosh. Now that you mention it, I have no idea. I might still be subscribed to. Oh, I've got to look.
I haven't opened that game in months, and I still am paying that.
Yeah, true. Well, you know what? It's funny, though, because I know I haven't been playing, and I'm like, I'm not going to have, like, any Leaf tickets for the good stuff, so... I'm probably going to pay more money for Leaf tickets again if the stuff is really good. But, I don't know. I've been out of it so long. You got to take some time away from the games like that because then you don't feel like you have to get everything and they're very busy. I know that was Sergio and I's like biggest complaint about it a long time ago, where it was just like, I'm playing this game for way longer than I should be. Yeah, whereas, like, I'm good with, like, an hour session from New Horizons these days, and, like, I don't need to log in anymore unless I really want to, and, I mean, the game's still fresh enough for me that I do want to, but, like, Pocket Camp asking that kind of time for me, no, it's too much.
Well,
but that said, I'm down to look at it again.
Eventually we'll get back into it. We are the podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing.
That's true. Oh man. There are so many things to talk about, all things Animal Crossing too. So let's get into this.
Okay.
New Horizons update trailer. Incredible. I really love that we got this on Friday just because out of nowhere, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling really inspired right now. I feel like I need to make some predictions because
Ah.
this whole thing is going to happen any moment. So I went to my room, I wrote my script, I recorded it, and then put it up. And then the very next day, it was like, boom, there it is. And I'm like, yes. I've still got it. My Animal Crossing senses, they're alive and well. We haven't needed them too much as of late because, I don't know, we have a game now. We don't have to like sense that something is impending anymore.
Well, we need
because
to
we
go
can just
back
enjoy it.
and see what our predictions were. I don't remember.
Oh,
See who got it
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that
Yeah.
next
I guess,
week.
I mean, just for this one, I guess, since I did this video kind of recently, I predicted one thing that didn't happen, Brewster. I was predicting
Yeah.
that he would
No.
make his return here. Still not happening. But I did predict, pumpkins, growing them and everything. From there, I also predicted that November would kind of lead to more crops and more crafting recipes that are like for
Ooh,
food
I
items,
hope
so we could
so.
kind of consider it cooking. But I don't think cooking at this point would be too distant from crafting.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. You collect the ingredients, you learn the recipes, you make the food. So it's gonna work the same if I had to guess.
But I was even talking about one episode, it was a couple episodes ago. We predicted when this update would drop.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think I probably predicted pretty late if I had to guess by my I just feel like I don't try to get my hopes up for anything too
I
early. And I feel like Nina, you're on that boat. What do you think, Sergio?
Yeah, I think you said actually like late September. I think I said mid to late October, which is way off the mark.
Oh, even later than I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So that yeah, I guess we're all we're all old and broken.
Oh no!
So we just can't bring ourselves to hope anymore.
No, Sergio and I are even older and more broken than you two.
That's okay. I'm getting there. We can live this life together. All right, all right. So, okay, I don't want to dilly dally too much. Let's get into what was actually announced in this update trailer. So, we got this trailer last Friday. We're recording Monday today. Usually we do, I guess, Mondays these days. But the update is coming September 30th in Japan. I want to focus on the words in Japan because that means we should be expecting the update Tuesday night, tonight for everybody listening to the show, this morning, today, the day it comes out. So September 29th in the US, that'll be 9 p.m. Eastern time. So, just before bed, so you can just cozy up with your game and, play some Animal Crossing. It's fun. But the update will include a lot of Halloween related things, like you'll have candy in the Nook's Cranny now. From the press release, I've read that you can only buy one candy per day. So hey, you're going to want to buy candy as much as possible. This has been the case in the previous game. I want to say New Leaf also only allowed like whatever was in stock, right? And that was like one or two pieces
Right.
a day.
Yeah. But
Yeah, so
you have to remember that Animal Crossing is pretty forgiving, and I feel like there's always ways to earn the candy during the actual event.
yeah, that I was about to mention that
Oh,
too.
okay,
Like,
sorry.
yeah, usually the day of there is a way to get candy
Yeah.
from your villagers. So don't worry too much if you miss it. But I play every day, so there's no
Yeah.
reason for me not to stock up on it at all. So yeah, it's just something I'm definitely going to do. And then via the press release, they also confirmed that Nook's Cranny will sell pumpkins, which is pretty cool. Pumpkins in October specifically, but Leaf will sell them year round,
Nice.
which is
So
pretty incredible.
excited.
So pumpkins, this is the big new thing. We're going to be actually gardening them. It's looking from what people have been kind of suspecting with them is that they're going to work a lot like the flowers, where you kind of plant them and water them. And as you water them more, you get kind of better quality out of them or more. Because if you
Oh.
look at if you see the image, or at least like the little video portion where they showed it, you'll see like there's pumpkins where it's like, oh, one pumpkin has grown, two pumpkins have grown, or three have grown. So it seems like there will be some variety based on how you water them. But that, we can only really suspect on how that
Mm-hmm.
works. We can't really make a claim quite yet.
Right,
So
right.
moving beyond there, we've also got some new DIY recipes, which will obviously utilize said pumpkins. There will be costumes that we can get, which look pretty dang cute. And then on top of that, you can use some Nook Miles to unlock skin tones and colored contacts. So these new skin tones are going to be kind of like Halloween themed. You've got like the green skin, the purple skin, all of the like fun horror movie monster type of skin tones,
Right.
and then some new colored contacts to change your eyes to some more unnatural colors as well. So it should be pretty cool to play with those. And then, kind of the last big thing that they mentioned was that there's going to be some new reactions, and these are going to be based around Halloween. And on top of that, there's going to be an update to the Nook Link app, which is, the app that people tend to forget exists unless they play Splatoon or Animal Crossing. But in this app, you'll be able to directly use your reactions. So it'll no longer be something where you have to pull up the menu in game. I mean, you can still do that, but if you have the app, you can utilize it instead to do your reactions, which for content creators, I'm sure that's a huge thing. I've seen some people do some like pretty crazy edits where they just like edit out any time they go into that screen, so they just get their character reacting. So now there's no need to do that. You can just react from your phone, which is very convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last little thing I noticed just by looking at the trailer, and one of them can be confirmed, the other cannot be confirmed quite yet, but there are going to be new seasonal items in Nook's Cranny too. If you recall, during the summer, there was a surfboard or a fan in our shop, and I'm assuming during the winter there was a snowboard in the shop as like a little extra that people could buy. In the video, when they're in Nook's Cranny, you can see like a little jack-o'-lantern
Yes.
scarecrow that is available. So that one's confirmed. The unconfirmed one is that there's a possibility that we'll be able to finally decorate our fourth tier to our island. And this is crazy because if you try to climb up onto the fourth tier currently, it just won't let you. It's going to say it's too dangerous. You're too unprofessional for this line of work. You better not climb up. It's bad for you. You're going to fall and hurt yourself. That seems to be no longer the case. And it was spotted by somebody pretty, I don't know who it was spotted by, but I do know that I was looking at a tweet from Animal Crossing World, and they run a huge blog, a good friend of mine now, luckily, but he said somebody pointed out to him that it looks like one portion of the video you can spot where there's kind of like, when people, Nina, you have this in your island, but when people like dig into the ground and create like a little grave that's
Mm-hmm.
dug up with a skeleton in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it has that, and then there's the person on the layer above that, that's where they're standing, and then a couple layers above that, and each of them have decorations on there. So unconfirmed so far, but the scene really does look like there's the possibility of decorating that fourth layer for the
Yeah.
first time.
It makes me
So
wonder if it's just like kind of a marketing mistake where they didn't realize what they were showing off,
Right.
and
and
it's not true, or if it was like just a little like who's gonna catch this kind of a hint, you know?
we're going to catch
Oh,
it,
yeah.
Nintendo. Come on. And this is exactly what I was thinking too, because I pointed out the other day. I was like, you can't terraform this cliff like that. It's a
Hmm.
lie. Why would you think that it's okay to show me this, Nintendo? I don't believe you.
Yeah, they're liars.
um, they're liars. They're a bunch of liars. False advertising. We had a whole episode on this
Hmm.
just recently, so check it out. But yeah, so this is basically all that we saw from the trailer, and now I just want to talk to you both about it. Starting with, what was your reaction to the trailer? I guess, Nina, do you want to kick us off here?
Oh man, so it was a Friday, kind of Friday morning-ish for me, right? Wasn't it pretty
Yeah.
early?
It was early. It would have been, I think, 9 a.m. for you.
Okay. And every other Friday on my school schedule is a madhouse. It's a zoo. I mean, I have like maybe 30 minutes for lunch and I'm teaching the rest of the day. So I I completely panicked. I was like, No, I have to watch this, but I'm surrounded by 23-year-olds all dressed as pirates because it was pirate day at my school." Which
That's your perfect day.
it was a really good day otherwise, actually. I had a big pirate hat that I had ordered, which turned out way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So it was pretty comical. And all the little kids had like fake hooks that they were swinging around. It was pretty amazing. Um, and they have a little song. I'm so off topic now, but it goes, I'm a pirate, I'm a pirate, I'm a sneaky, sneaky pirate. And it's the cutest thing in the world. But okay. So I was trying my hardest to like watch my phone, the trailer, without any sound, surrounded by pirates. And then I had to try again during lunch with sound, but it was pretty fast because I was just scarfing down food. And then I was an idiot and started looking at Twitter and just started seeing
Oh.
all the like trailer breakdowns before I could like fully soak in the trailer myself. So I feel like I kind of did it backwards, but it still was a super exciting day and it happens. It was still good. It was so much fun.
Yeah, so I guess the bits and pieces that you could see, like, were you trying to like mask your excitement while you were watching, or what was going on in
I
that
mean,
moment?
no need to mask excitement around pirates. It was just fun all around. We were painting skull and crossbones, and I was just so excited. So I mean, I saw vampires, which I know is another obsession of mine, and I saw pumpkins. I love Halloween. I mean, it just looked perfect from the glimpses I could catch at first.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I guess Sergio, I guess we want to give us a play-by-play on your reaction.
No, it was very nice too. Okay, here's my sidebar. I'm kind of upset that YouTube doesn't email you anymore when there's a new video because I used to get their videos like first thing, first
Mm.
second when they were out. But now I kind of have to be in the lookout for that. And yeah, it took me a little while to find about it, but man, it was very nice to see. I think my favorite part of everything that was announced is kind of the mixture of old mechanics that are coming back from mostly from New Leaf on how Halloween worked, and then new mechanics, new ways to do things. It seems to me like the development team really got a chance to go all out. It's not just Halloween; it's all about it. It's the decorations too, even the skin tones. They're going all out, and it's very nice to see.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like they can just like commit so much more to these holidays in this game with the ability to decorate outside. Like it changes everything.
Yeah.
It makes it feel like your entire island is festive. And I think that's just honestly what I really wanted to see with this game. And I mean, I'm excited. They're nailing it here.
And
Yeah.
you got to do a cute little reaction video.
Yeah, I mean, I woke up and I saw it immediately. I think I saw a message from Tab that said new update video, and I was just like, all right, I'm not even gonna look at anything. I'm just gonna go straight to YouTube, put that video on, react to it, and that'll be my morning before work right here.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, like I woke up and my reaction to it was just like My mouth dropped. I was amazed at everything I saw. The pumpkins just blew my mind, and I was like, I'm so happy that this is happening because I said in my reaction video or my predictions video too, I was just like, you know what, I don't really care how much of this happens, but I know if it's not pumpkins, I'm going to be upset. Like, I just need my pumpkins for Halloween. That's all this person's asking for. That's it. And we got it. And now I just need them to grow right now. I'm already telling people, like, on Discord and everything, I'm just like, okay, listen, Wednesday, if you have leaf, let me come over and buy some pumpkins because you know, like, yes, the update starts Tuesday night for us, right? But there's no telling if that update's going to start like taking place until the next day, you know? So Wednesday's probably going to be the big day for things to actually start to feel changed up and everything. But even then, the Nook's Cranny is not selling pumpkins till October. So September 30th, we still
Oh,
got to
yeah.
wait. So anybody who has leaf on Wednesday, like
Whoa.
that's the place to be. That is the island to go to. And I that's it, everybody. You all said Leaf was the worst, but look at him now. look at Leaf now.
Look
He
at
is
Leaf now.
keeping us alive.
He's got a pumpkin on his head.
Yes. And I'm just like, I'm kind of really worried right now that tomorrow I'm going to have him. And I'm just like, no, the one day I need him, like Wednesday. Come on, middle of the week. Get me through this week, Leaf.
Man. So in the trailer, they showed not only like different numbers of pumpkins growing in the same patch, but they showed different colors too.
Yes.
Do you guys think they're going to be selling different colors each day, or do you think it'll be random?
I have no idea. I know I've talked to Drama a little bit about it, and she's kind of thinking like if they work like flowers, maybe it's like a hybrid kind of thing. But yeah, I have no idea how it's gonna work. For me right now, I'm kind of guessing random
Yeah.
on the colors, unless they actually do have like different seeds for each of them.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, which you know, it's a thing. There are a bunch of different like species of the same. I guess I don't know how to order that.
Right.
The kingdoms right there. But you know, there are different types of pumpkins, gourds, squashes, whatever you may call them. You know, so yeah, I have no idea right now, but I'm leaning toward random.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Oh, me too. So ready for this. All right. Okay. So my next question for both of you is, what was your favorite thing in the trailer? And Sergio, I guess we'll have you kick it off this time.
So surprisingly, it's not the pumpkins, but it's only because of how rumored it was, and it was almost like a given, right? So because of that, something that I was not expecting at all is the new skin tones that we're getting. I don't know, for some reason they look pretty awesome to me, and I think it's gonna be fun to experiment with that, even just be around, just to have some fun. So I feel like if we hadn't heard about the potential of pumpkins, that would have been my favorite. But yeah, since we kind of knew, I'm going with the skin tones.
Yeah, and you know what? I really want to like hop on that. I mean, obviously the pumpkins is my favorite, but I want to support this answer by saying like this is exactly like one of the complaints that I had when we were kind of doing our 6-month review of the game, where there is not really too much of an incentive to keep collecting Nook Miles for me at this point. Like, I have 200 and something thousand Nook Miles at the moment, and yeah, I mean, like, Nook Miles tickets are always in demand, but like, not when I have all the amiibo cards, unless I like really want one of the new characters. So,
Right.
like, there's not too much of an incentive there, but now the press release did say like you are unlocking these skin tones and colored contacts through the Nook Miles program, so you have to spend on those. And I'm just like, yes, give me a lot more of that. Give me a lot more of just like items and services and like upgrades to like my Nook phone or anything that is just like Nook Miles related, because I feel like that system, it just isn't feeding back into itself enough. And you know, we're halfway through a year here, and I'm already kind of like, I'm not impressed, Nintendo. Like, I like it to a big extent, but like that was at the beginning. Now it's just kind of like whenever I check my Nook stop, I don't ever look at redeeming Nook
Yeah.
Miles
Yeah.
because I don't need to. So this is going to get me back at that machine. Of course, I mean, it's only a couple things, but I'm going to get them.
Yeah.
So it's exciting,
Well,
you
and
know?
I hope it's opening doors to more because I have seen a lot of talk on Twitter about like, oh, we can be blue, but we can't have really dark skin tones. Like, come on, Nintendo,
Yeah.
let's have more inclusive skin tones. Which, thankfully they were more inclusive this time around. But they can push it further and let us unlock more inclusive hairstyles too. So hopefully this is just the beginning where we don't just have to be blue, but we could have curly hair or different kinds of braids or something more for everyone.
Yeah, and Harriet's still not in the game, so there's
Yeah.
still like a lot of possibilities to really
Oh
grow
yeah.
that. And even if you don't grow it that way, like I said, just put a Nook Miles reward that we can get through that and that'll open it up for us. But yeah, I agree. Like this game was really great. Like we do not have to suntan anymore to
Yeah.
be brown. And so yeah, just getting even that little access has been great. But yeah, obviously there's room for more. Like Nintendo is showing it right here. Like we can make more skin tones and make it something that's part of the game that you can get and enjoy, and that's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
just great. It's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
also loved, sorry to keep dragging this part out, but I also
no,
loved,
keep going.
Sergio, did you notice with the skin tones that like even if you choose blue or like white, you still see a little bit of the warmer tone underneath with like their ears and their hands. Have you guys seen
Oh
that?
no.
I did kind of notice it the last time on their hands when I was kind of like looking pretty closely. So,
It's like
yeah, just
rosy
barely.
underneath. It's super cute.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it with all the different skin tones
Yeah.
too, just to see like how the paint comes up and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, it's cute. They this game, there's just so much ability that they have to give us little details like that, and they're doing it every
Mhm.
time. So it's wonderful.
Mhm.
Um, I guess Nina, I guess what was did we already go through your favorite thing in the trailer? No, we did not.
No, I'm so excited. Like not just about growing pumpkins, but I'm excited about all the like pumpkin things. It looks like we're gonna be able to craft. My town will be
Yeah.
covered in pumpkins. I'm so excited. Like the little pumpkin scarecrow you were talking about before. I loved the like there was excuse me, like a stacked pumpkin item it looked like, and the pumpkin fence and just all the new items. I can't wait to craft those.
They all look so good. And it's
Mhm.
honestly, that's all I wanted. I was just like, let me put pumpkins everywhere.
Mhm.
Every single nook and cranny of my island, I want pumpkins. So
I can't
I'm
wait.
I'm all about it.
Yes.
I'm so excited. But yeah, like you, Nina, like I love the pumpkin stuff. I love that it's like opening up. It's a new material, essentially, like a new
Yeah.
crafting material. And, just knowing that Leaf is going to be selling these things year round, I feel like there's some like possibility for expanding it. Like that's one thing we haven't gotten too far into with this game quite yet is just like how these ideas can be really expanded upon as far as items go. And I mean to me it's definitely like, oh yeah, it's because, it's the first year with this game and they obviously had their plan for the first year and everything, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, like play it out. I'm down to see it, but I'm expecting some pretty big things come
Mhm.
year 2 and 3 and everything. Like I think those are the years where we're gonna see like, oh yeah, so you could craft these things, right? But here are all of the other things that you can craft because
Mm.
they can't be out of ideas yet, like we all have ideas. So surely Nintendo has some. Um, but yeah, the pumpkins I feel just like open that up. Like I'm 100% positive that the pumpkins aren't going to be the only kind of crop that we can grow. I mean, we've definitely seen some kind of in the data mine. We haven't like seen them, but some have been showing up there. So
Mm.
there's sure to be more from than this. And like are we going to be able to craft with the other things? Like pumpkins, I'm sure, like already just looking at the trailer, there's so many items that we're going to be able to craft out of the pumpkins. I think the rest of the food that we're growing is just going to expand that even further.
I hope so.
Yeah. And I think it's something we need, really. Like, I think a lot of us are getting to that point where we're shopped out. We check the shop and we're like, I don't know. I already bought like 3 of these. I don't need another. So, we're skipping things in the shop, and we should be like going in there and being like, yeah, give us all the things, really, you know. All right. So my next question from here is going to be directly related to the farming and gardening that we're getting, but how do you feel about gardening/farming coming to Animal Crossing? And I guess, Nina, we'll start with you.
So, ever since the community started talking about gardening, like even before the trailer for this game came out, people have been kind of debating crafting and gardening in this game just as like fan thoughts. And
Mhm.
I have been totally behind it for so long. I even drew like a little fan art of Joan with a farmer's market that she could have on Sundays where we would buy and sell all of our like produce and garden things. And so I'm very excited to see more. I really do hope that the data mine is right and we will see more. Especially with Harvest Festival, I want to just make all the beautiful gourds for Franklin. I can't wait. And like I don't know, maybe lettuce or something that I feel like they're gonna have to grow similarly to pumpkins, like
Mm.
close to the ground. So I don't know. I'm just so excited, and the pumpkins feel like they're gonna be really you know for lack of a better word, organic. They're gonna work similar to flowers and that they grow and we pluck them and then they grow again, which is how the trees have worked forever in Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It's just the next step forward. I really think it's gonna still feel like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like, a lot of people are really resistant toward like, Animal Crossing is not a farming sim,
Hmm.
is often what people would say. And I'm just like, yeah, but to like some extent, like it's not like they're strangers to those mechanics at all. Like we've
Right.
always been able to plant essentially, orchards, which
Hmm.
are a crop in some places. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like completely against what the DNA of Animal Crossing is. So I feel like there's just so much opportunity to, I mean, for me, the biggest thing with this is just like expanding what we can get as far as like outdoor greenery goes, because
Hmm.
we have, 4 different styles of trees, 2 of which are, well, I guess, if we count the bamboo, that's like a 5th one. But 2 of those are basically the hardwood trees, and then they can grow a bunch of different fruit on them. Like there's no distinguishing factor from the tree unless you see what fruit is on that tree.
Right.
So there, I don't know, to a big extent this has always been a part of the game, so I have never been against it, and I just feel like expanding it just lets us make cute things. Like that pumpkin patch in the trailer is adorable.
Yeah.
I think it's the cutest little thing, and I'm just like, I tweeted this the other day, and I was just like, Nintendo, can we get the dream addresses for these places, like the ones that are actually being used in the trailers? Because I need to see what you all are doing, because it's great. Like every single island they show off during those things is just adorable.
Yeah.
And I mean, it helps that they're showing us all these really cool new things that we can do as well. But even without that, like, I think they're probably pretty cute. They can hold up, you know? But yeah, I guess for me, I just feel like the gardening and farming, it feels like a natural extension to the gameplay, because it's not necessarily something that we haven't had access to before. It's just like
Yeah.
growing that feature that, we could do, but
I mean, when I played not new, when I played Wild World back when I was, a baby Animal Crossing player, my main source of money was my orchard. So it was a
same.
farming sim for me. So I think it's going to be great.
No, I'm the same way. Like I remember every 3 days I'd be like, "Oh man, this is my long session
Mm-hmm.
here where I've gotta really just like get all my trees." And then I think one day I saw, I want to say it was Bill Trinan, who is, one of the marketing managers at Nintendo, but he posted, I think it was him, but I think it was just like, here's the most efficient way to plant your trees so
Ooh.
you can collect the fruit as fast as possible. And I'm like, well, listen, going back to that game, the fruit didn't stack. You could
Oh
only
my
take like
gosh.
15 at a time to the shop. It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hard life that we had to live.
Mm-hmm.
We literally walked so all of you could run. Yeah, so it was tough times back then making money.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how people feel about this game, but like you make a lot of money in
Yeah.
this Animal Crossing
You
game.
do.
In the previous games, that was not the case. You were living that broke life. Cool. So I guess Sergio, how do you feel about this new mechanic coming to Animal Crossing?
I think it's absolutely great. It could be the big start of something very special, I think, in Animal Crossing. It could start, it's kind of already starting, with New Horizons. Maybe they're going to tone it down a little bit and really go all out with the next game. Either way, it's a good start here. And I know some people, like you said, they don't want it to be something like Harvest Moon, but at the same time, they don't want it to be too simple. So I think based on what we're seeing, the development team kind of got the perfect in between. It's not too complicated and it's also not too simple. It matches what Animal Crossing has done in the past, and at the same time, it adds something new and exciting. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's really cool to just see something. And I felt kind of sad seeing like a lot of people complaining even when this update came out. I mean, I'm convinced no matter what they're bringing to these updates in Animal Crossing, there's going to be complaints, especially when they're including all of these things that people are like, oh, yeah, but that was already a New Leaf. Like, why are we waiting for it till now to get that, you know? And I get it, but like with this type of update, we're finally seeing like, oh, here is like a really fresh take on how to play Animal Crossing. So,
Right.
I mean, isn't it cool? I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Awesome. So I have one last question regarding this update for you, at least this portion of the update, because there is a bunch of stuff that wasn't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
But my last question before we move on to that is, are you going to be rearranging your island to work in this new update, or at least like areas of your island, maybe? Nina, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I had actually started updating my island with a little farm and garden area before all of this was announced. So
Mm.
now I can kind of just do a little pumpkin overhaul. I'm so excited. And I think I'm also going to rearrange a few resident yards too to have like little pumpkin patches instead of like just a big community pumpkin patch. So
Hmm.
I'm ready. I was someone who had like a turnip patch in my town before we realized it was counting against us for our town score. So I think it's gonna work out great. I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like that because I do have like one little section next to like Deirdre's house where I'm like, oh, I think she should have a little pumpkin patch. And
Yeah.
I guess it's not a pumpkin patch, it's just like a little garden. So I have a garden area for her, but now I'm just like, she's gonna have an awesome pumpkin patch pretty soon. I guess what about you, Sergio? Are you thinking of reworking anything with this update?
Well, not too much. I don't celebrate Halloween, so I don't see myself decorating too much, but I do definitely want to have a pumpkin patch. I need to decide where, but I want to keep it year round if it's possible. I don't know how it's going to work if they're actually going to be alive after October. I hope so. I mean, Leaf is going to sell them, so I'm pretty sure they are. So even if they don't do much, I just want to keep them alive throughout the year.
Yeah, that is awesome. I mean, it's pretty fun to just grow something, play with the mechanics for sure. So I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess for me, I feel like all these ideas that I've always had for my island are really coming together with this update. So I feel like my whole island's been working toward this the whole time. So I want all the pumpkins. I'm gonna get all the pumpkin items. I want pumpkins themselves, like even just having them planted all over the place anyways is just really like a cute idea for me. So yeah, I think it's just exactly what my island has been like working toward this
That's
whole
true.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So I do want to go into this last little section and talk about things that were not mentioned in the trailer. So these things are going to be some pretty cool news. Some of them might be hard to come by as of this recording, but the new Horizon Switch is back in stock. This is the New Horizons themed Nintendo Switch. I've seen tweets all over the place of people getting them. They've been available in stores, online, some places. I haven't really looked to see, how hard it is to get my hands on one. And I don't think I'm going to try. I'm just going to let you all do it because I already have mine. I think, yeah. Anyways, beyond that, there are also the return of some amiibo card sets, specifically sets 1 through 4, which are the first 400. And I say that specifically because there is a 50 card set that came out for the Welcome Amiibo update. Those cards will not be re-released as far as I can tell. But this re-release is coming back in November. So be on the lookout for that if you're wanting to collect any of these cards. They're pretty fun to collect. And luckily, there's a lot of places online to look and see which sets have your, I guess, favorite villager, the one that you're looking for. So you can be on the lookout for those sets specifically. And then from there, we're also getting a RingCon item from Ring Fit Adventures, so that's coming for free in this update. I think it'll probably just show up in our mailbox right after downloading it, so be on the lookout for that. And then there's an update to the Dream Suite, which they didn't mention at all, but they've added a favorite feature, so you can revisit your favorite dreams. As per the Nintendo press release, they said the ability to take a nap and visit other islands within dreams was introduced this summer. Now you'll be able to easily revisit dreams from a list, making it even easier to visit some of your favorite islands. So if you see, sometimes a lot of people have those like randomly generated dream island codes, and you can go to a random one. And it's probably kind of hard to remember where you went. So if you really liked an island, now you'll be able to favorite it and revisit it if you ever feel the need. So I've got some questions based on this. I kind of answered this first one, but any of you trying to buy another new Horizon Switch? Yeah, I guess Nina. Is it in the budget?
No, it's not in my art teacher budget. And I already have this. I mean, my Horizon Switch is my second Switch. So my little poor second island is not going anywhere. And I've forgotten all about it. And was kind of surprised that they're restocking these. I'm guessing that they're kind of ramping up for the holiday season. But, I'm glad people are still able to buy them. I just am kind of surprised that they are getting bought, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I shouldn't have been surprised that this was happening, but Nintendo, you never know what business plan they're gonna go with. And just now thinking of it, like Animal Crossing is already the second best-selling game for Nintendo, and that's like less than a year of it being out. And I'm sure it's still selling incredibly well. So it just made sense to release like the console that a lot of people really wanted around this game. I feel like they are more and more like convinced that Animal Crossing is a big seller for them, which to some extent it always has been. Like a lot of the Animal Crossing games have managed to be in that top 10 selling game for games list for Nintendo. So it is a game that's very popular, but now seeing them actually back it like this, like I believe it now. So it makes sense to me that they're bringing the console back. I'm glad they're doing it because I know plenty of people have really wanted one. I think if I did like run into one, I'd be tempted to get it just to do like a giveaway or
Oh,
something.
cool.
Yeah, but even then, it's not like I'm going anywhere these days, so I'm not just gonna run
No.
into it. I don't think I've been into a Target since this whole quarantine thing started. Like I go to the grocery store, and that is the extent of my shopping. I guess what about you, Sergio?
Yeah,
Any
no,
thoughts on buying it?
no, I have mine. I'm good with that, but I'm glad they're bringing it back. I know there's people out there that missed out, or yeah, this is gonna give them an opportunity to get it. It would be nice if they sold that Joy-Con by themselves because I have dropped mine so many times and they're pretty scratched up at the edges. But that's fine. I'm kind of proud of that because it means I'm playing it a lot. So, but yeah, if I could buy some new ones, I probably would.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing too. Like, I'm surprised they don't come out with all of these colors separately. Like, I have a friend at work who, he's doesn't typically play Animal Crossing too much, but he saw the Joy-Con and he was just like, I want those colors so bad.
Yeah.
Like, can you just sell me yours? And I was like, no.
Well,
But yeah, like,
and like what? Give us accessory just get more Animal
mhm.
Crossing stuff for us. I will buy other things. I already have the Animal Crossing Switch. I just want more.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I don't know if you all saw my tweet earlier, but I just bought like a Nook Inc. shirt
Oh my
from
gosh.
store.nintendo.com, and it came
Nice.
with that like exclusive PAX East Isabel pin, so it's a cool item. I was really hoping I could get one of those. Unfortunately, didn't go to PAX East, so I was surprised to find one way to actually obtain one, and it came with a
Nice.
free shirt, so it was cool.
Oh, it came with a free shirt.
No, they were bundled together, but people were selling these things for like 30
Oh
bucks
yeah.
on eBay or
Yeah.
something, like the pin by itself. And I was like, oh, I could get this pin for 25 and it comes with a free shirt. So that's kind of my joke there.
Nice.
Okay, so follow-up question here. Are you going to be collecting amiibo cards again when they release? I guess Nina, what are you thinking? Amiibo craze
Yes.
gonna hit you?
Yeah, I'm excited. I like started to collect them as they were disappearing. And I didn't realize that's what was happening. So I'd like go to Toys R Us or I'd go to Target and I'd pick out a few. I never would buy just like tons of packs. I would just, treat myself to one or two packs. And then when
Mm-hmm.
I would go back the next time I get paid or whatever, I'd be like, wait, why aren't these being restocked? Wait a second. Now I can't find them anymore. And I realized they just were kind of ended. So I have a very small, I mean, it's a sturdy collection, but it's still pretty small. And I'd like to get more. I am going to definitely miss the RV cards. Those are super cute.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll make do with the regular cards.
Yeah, and like I've been looking through the set a lot, and there are a lot of popular villagers in that RV set. Like
Yeah.
those are all returning villagers, villagers that have been in the game in the past but didn't return for several, and they were brought back with the Welcome Amiibo update.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There's some really good ones in there. I think they definitely, probably did some focus group and were like, which villagers do you like from these?
Interesting.
One of your favorites recently, Gonzo, he's in that
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some great ones in there.
Hmm.
Sergio, are you collecting?
It's tempting, but I'm gonna hold out. I'm hoping they do bring back those extra 50 ones with the RBs, or even more exciting if it happens, if they do a new series for Raymond
Mm.
and the other new members of the gang.
Mm.
So I would rather wait for that. So hopefully,
Yeah, honestly, I'm right there with you, Sergio. Like, I mean, I have all the amiibo, so there's no need for me to go and collect anymore. Like, I'm done. I've lived that life already. I paid $100 for the Japan only KK Slider card.
Whoa.
It's too much money. I've done my spending, It's not going to happen
Man,
anymore
next time you have just an
until
extra $100 laying around, you can send it to me if you want to.
sure, sure thing. I mean, it was the last card I needed to complete the
Gosh.
entire amiibo collection,
Mm-hmm.
and that was how I justified it with myself. But yeah, like I'm out of the game unless they actually make some new cards. So happy hunting, everybody. I hope you find all the cards that you really, really want. And I'll probably put my list of duplicates out there so people can see them. I don't like to rip people off or anything on them. I've always only sold them for like 150 or so just to cover the stamp of it, or like
Right.
even $1 if you buy a bunch of them. So I'll probably put it out there for the Discord users.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my one last question for both of you. Have either of you tried the Dream Suite yet?
Oh man, I still
Sergio?
have it.
We're the
Nope.
worst. I feel like we're in trouble, Sergio.
I mean, you're okay. Like, I've only really tried it at the very beginning, so I haven't tried it since, like, the week it got, essentially announced. Like, I've only gone to the 2 islands so far. And, but that said, I have been collecting, like, a bunch of dream addresses and things, so there are places that I do want to visit. And I'm excited to finally go all out and check them all out. Maybe I'll do like a Dream Town stream or something pretty soon.
Man, I still wish we would all visit dream towns together.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be fun? We could like sync
Yeah.
up our little dream brains and go on a trip together.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. Just like, I don't know, I feel like it adds to the adventure being able to take a
Yeah.
trip together because we don't have the same like island Tortimer Island experience that we used to have.
Yeah.
So, it would be a good replacement for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. Well, this is, updates are always exciting. Luckily, anybody listening today, the update is out tonight in a matter of hours,
my
less than
gosh.
24 hours. Amazing. Nina, Sergio, and I are recording now, so we're just like, come on,
yeah,
let's
it's
get
Monday
this show on
right
the road.
now. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So we've got a little bit of time before it comes out, but it looks like it's going to be really fun. The holidays are always packed in Animal Crossing, so it made sense that they would, bring something pretty interesting to the game this time around. But before we actually close out the show, I do want to go into Haken's Islander Corner. For those of you who don't know, every single week we ask our patrons a question on Patreon and read some of their answers out loud. And in the spirit of this new update, we ask them, now that farming is confirmed, how do you feel about it in Animal Crossing? Because this is, like I said, this has been a point of tension for a lot of people. They didn't want to see this become a feature in the game. So let's go ahead and go through their answers. I guess we'll go Nina, Sergio, then me.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is from Kimbers, who says, I'm excited to have more variety in my farm, especially things that don't have to be pretend to be something they're not. Plus, the pumpkins won't count as dropped items against our island ratings. So, like I
Yeah.
was saying earlier, those dropped turnips counted against us. And like right now, my little pretend farm has planted coconut seeds that won't grow because I put them in dirt, and like some stools, those mum stools. Like it's just
Yeah.
made up plants
yeah.
right now. So I'm excited to clear all that out.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Like my same place, I've used some of those mum stools, so
They
they're
look
like
really
those.
cute.
Yeah, they are pretty cute still, but they're like a giant cauliflower or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Banjo Kazooie with their
Oh.
giant like cauliflower plants
Yeah.
that you beat in like the little training stage, the Spiral Mountain.
Oh yeah, there's those angry carrots too, right?
Yeah. Oh man, growing carrots, that would be adorable.
That would be. Anyway, so I'm right on board with Kimbers.
Yeah, and the other thing like people use as items or not are like all the hats,
Yeah.
we mentioned Tab's little pumpkin patch that she made even before this pumpkin patch was going to come out, which really cute name for this new patch, the pumpkin patch. Missed opportunity there. I saw that on Twitter and I was just like, brilliant. But, she used a hat pattern to make it look like that. So it's it's something that's awesome, and people won't need to pretend anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. So Kakulu said, I think they implemented it exactly right. In a way, the pumpkins are basically just a new type of flower. We are already able to harvest flowers for various DIYs, so these pumpkins are in a huge new mechanic in that way. I'm just wondering if the pumpkins are going to have crossbreeding the way the flowers do. How cool would that be? Oh my goodness, that would be awesome, definitely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of something that I mentioned that, Drama told me, and I was just like, it could work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hmm.
But yeah, I guess there are like a lot of similarities between the pumpkins and flowers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next answer is from Kiki Vulcan, and they said, I've been looking forward to farming ever since I read Data Miners writing about it being in the game. First crafting, now farming, ACNH now has everything I like in a relaxing game.
Ooh.
I love that just because, like, a lot of us play a bunch of different life sims. Of course, Animal Crossing holds a very special place in a lot of our hearts, but just knowing that there's going to be even more beyond that is wonderful. So it's pulling it all together in a really great way.
Yeah. Lagoon Game says, the second I saw pumpkins being farmed, I went nuts. Farming opens up so many possibilities for the future, and I'm so excited to see what they do with it next. My guess is that we will grow ingredients for Franklin when the Harvest Festival rolls around. Seeing a new mechanic added to the series that grows, pun intended, on what we have already been doing, like growing flowers and picking them, makes me so happy, and I can't wait to see what comes to the game in the future. So yeah, it looks like Lagoon is kind of speculating like we were for the Harvest Festival. It just
Yeah.
seems like it's gonna flow so naturally into the Harvest
Yeah, that's
Festival.
a very good point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think we're speculating the same thing.
Pumpkin pie.
Oh, we need that.
Nice. So Becca said, I am very excited. The turnip fields that I built in my front yard have been cleared out for pumpkins, and I have started reworking my decorations to include pumpkin DIYs. That means purple, orange, and black flowers all over the place. I also can't wait to stock up on candy to hand out to my precious custom villagers looking to trick or treat. Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I agree with that just because like I've been going a little bit crazy with my like oranges and yellows as far as like my flowers go, and the purples too. Like the purple hyacinths have been growing like crazy on my island right now.
Man, it's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait.
Yes, I know. So our last answer is from M, and they said, it makes me nervous. I'm really excited about it, what it could bring, but equally, I'm worried about what it might not. What I hope it brings is new ways to spend and make money, new DIY recipes that are applicable all year round for lots of different styles, and maybe even a cooking mechanic. What I'm worried it might bring is a way to play events and clog our DIY app full of recipes that are only usable at certain holiday times of year. For example, we get cute pumpkin items for fall, and that's great, but I hope it doesn't become the case that it's simply a tool that Nintendo uses to let us celebrate holidays. And therefore, updates just become about holidays and not about building more into that core gameplay. That said, I would be really pumped to find out that it's going to become a more in-depth part of the game. It would be awesome to get a proper farming and cooking mechanic that would totally open the door for more NPCs, buildings, and bigger projects for our island. So I like this very thorough look at it too, and I definitely agree where it's like, I think a lot of these updates are definitely focused around the new things that we can do during a holiday. But like once we've gone through that first initial round, I feel like the next step is definitely like, okay, we've introduced this for a holiday. Now let's grow on that and give it just some more that you can do with it in the game itself. So
Right.
I do feel like it's going to definitely grow. We may not see it at least like this time around, but already I'm sensing that it's going to be something that happens for November. So we might see a little bit more there. Of course, it'll be probably still holiday focused, but come year two, like now that we've seen how these events are working and everything after a year of playing the game, I think that's when they're going to be like, all right, now we're going to bring stuff for just kind of like the regular everyday stuff. Because as of right now, all of the stuff is fresh in game. They left the holidays out of the game just so people could be surprised when they actually happen. And I'm surprised. I'm definitely surprised. So it's nice to see that their plans are coming true here, but it's normal to kind of want to see the rest of the plans too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description, and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio, Nina, and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/Chuy-plays-Nintendo. You can support our show with just $1, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chuy Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube, the comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. Now that farming is confirmed, how do you feel about it in Animal Crossing? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a Wild production brought to you by Chuy, Sergio, Nina, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you all next time.